Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome aboard. I'm glad you guys are here today. Welcome to the webinar. It's going to be about the Google Maps playbook. And this is a super important part of your online marketing strategy as a whole, right? There's a lot of different components, but the Google Maps, which is now called your Google Business Listing, is a huge component of your online marketing strategy. So I just wanted to do a quick, 15, 20-minute process on your Google Maps playbook on how to get on the Google Maps and what that looks like. Some people don't even know how to get it set up. So I want to run through that with you today. If you're watching this as a recording on the YouTube channel, you're watching in the Facebook group later, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got lots more like interviews with experts coming up, more digital marketing and offline marketing tips coming up. So we love and appreciate the subscribers. It helps our channel too. As far as putting out this content, it takes time to put together the topics and actually do the videos. So if you can subscribe to our channel, we'll be grateful for that. And also, if you're seeing this afterwards, maybe you're listening to this on the audio on the podcast, subscribe to your favorite podcast player. We're on every podcast player out there. Apple, Spotify, all the different podcasts out there. So just wanted to throw those things in for you. Let me share my screen so you can actually see what's going on here and how we can get you optimized to get on the Google Maps, which is super important for you. All right. So as always, we're going to get started with the content here and going over the slides. If you guys have any questions, pop them in the live chat. Sometimes we get questions, sometimes we don't. If we do get questions, I'll go ahead and answer them as best I can when I take a quick little break there. So you're welcome to send a chat question. Feel free to use that, but we'll go ahead and get started. So let's get on the Google Maps, right? And a lot of people are like, man, I see the maps. I see the Google Maps online, but like, how does my business get on the maps? I don't even know how to do it or where to start. So number one, let's set up your Google business listing, fill out the info thoroughly, especially the description and the services part. So if you're on your Gmail or Google account, typically if you're logged into your Google account, which typically means you're in Gmail, right? You've already got a Gmail account or some sort of Google account, but usually it's Gmail. Let's say you're in Gmail right here. Well, when you're in here, all you do is on this top right, you're going to see a little Google Apps icon up there. If you click on that, look for this business listing storefront icon. Once you click on that, it opens up. And once you open up there, if you're not already set up, you don't have a business listing that you know of, let's go ahead and add single business, add a business. It probably just says add a business for you. And if you start typing in your business name here, it may try to like auto default and push you towards like a business that's already online. So don't do that. Just click add your business to Google and then just go through and fill out the steps. It's really simple. You pick your business name and pick tree service as your business category. And I'll show you in a minute how you can add a couple of additional categories to help kind of accelerate your lead flow a little bit better. But pick your business name and then tree service and hit next. And what it's going to do is go through a series of questions and you can just punch in the information like your address, phone number, website, URL, all those different things. So go ahead and do that. I'm going to go back here. So you set it up and then what happens is you're going to typically wait maybe a week to 2 weeks to get a postcard verification in the mail from Google. Once you get it, you've got a 5-digit code. Go to your Google business listing here that we just did. You'll log in just the same way. Click right here, open up your Google business profile. It's going to open up here and you're going to see your listing. Once you see your listing, let's just click on it. We click on the listing and you're going to see verify up here. Click on it and then you punch in your 5-digit code. All right. So that's how you get verified and get on the Google map in the first place, get your Google business listing verified. So you can see this is your Google business profile manager. So next thing, what we want to do is we want to optimize this thing and give Google the data that they want to see in order to show our Google business listing on the maps. So let me start here. So you have a posting feature here. Every one of the options is going to be on this left-hand side. So I would say just kind of get familiar with this left-hand side here. The info tab is going to be the most important one on the setup initially. So let's go in here. So once we're in here, your address will be here, service areas here. Let's make sure we pick the correct category for your tree service business. You have no idea how many times we see people are in there as landscaper or contractor or something other than tree service. And when you're trying to get tree service leads from tree service searches on the internet, you want to make sure your category says tree service. That's just number one right there. We'll get that out of the way. So make sure this says tree service. There's also an arborist. If you add another category, you could add arborist and tree surgeon, which is also another one that's good to do. So that way you've got two categories there that will generate lead flow for you when people do searches. So we just added that one. Next thing you want to do is go in here and optimize your hours. A lot of times for ease of use, you just select 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours, all the way down the line. And that way you got it up all day, every day. If anybody ever has an emergency, they can find you. Some people want their hours exactly as they are. They just want 8 to 5, 8 to 6, something like that. So you can fill out your hours. You want to put in your website address. So go to your website and then paste in your website link here to where you have your website on here, because Google crawls your website and makes determinations with their algorithm how they're going to rank your Google business listing, map listing as well. So you want to make sure your website's done. That's a whole nother webinar topic, getting your website done correctly so that it actually influences your Google map. But for this purpose of this video, just make sure you've got your link in here. Products, we don't have any products in the tree service space. We have services though. So in services, you want to select the services that you want to pick. And typically that's going to be like tree service. They've got a list in there that are just canned. You can just select them all if you want to, put them in there and make sure that your services are in there. That way, when somebody types in one of these different types of services other than the normal 4 or 5, you still show up for those because you got it in your services here in your listing. Then you want to make sure you come in here and do a good, thorough description of your business. And you want to put in there that you take care of tree service in XYZ city. So whatever city you're trying to rank in right here, where your Google map listing was verified, your Google business listing, make sure you have those keywords here in the description too. Hey, we're the best tree service company around, been in business since 2004. We're family owned and operated, and we do tree trimming, tree removal, tree services of all kinds in XYZ city and state. And we're happy to be your preferred choice of tree service contractor, blah, blah, whatever you want to write in there. But make sure you have a couple of keywords sprinkled in there that you do: tree service, your city, tree removal, your city, etc. And that way you've got this thing filled out really thoroughly, right? And then you're in the maps. And so you want to get this part done. So the info part is done, is really critical to get that launched and get that done up front when you first get verified. If you've already got it verified and you haven't done a good job of optimizing and thoroughly filling all this out, just go back in there and just do it now. It only take you probably 10 or 15 minutes to do that, depending on what all you do. But the basics are just all these, just try to get something in each one of these clickable areas right here. Make sure you get that done. So that's the first part. Let's get on the Google Maps, right? So number 2, make sure your categories are correct. So we just kind of went over that, right? So I want to make sure you guys understand the importance of this. So your tree service, your categories are right here at the very top. So you want to make sure you always pick tree service, always pick arborist and tree surgeon. And that way you show up for pretty much any type of variation of tree service search. And don't pick landscaping, don't pick contractor, because sometimes they'll start spreading out the lead flow based on what you've selected in your categories. So you want to just focus on tree service, arborist, and tree surgeon. Now, if you are a landscaper as well, that's not a bad idea to click on landscaping, but it's just going to put you in a category that you don't want those types of leads generally. So I would say avoid that if you can. So that's how you get all of that going there. The next part is let's upload tons of photos. And guys, don't overthink this part, right? Don't overthink the photos part. Okay, so you go to your photos tab here. What I would suggest is just, if you already have a bunch on your cell phone or something like that, just email them to yourself so you can grab them on your computer and upload them in here. But make sure you go through right here and do like at work photos, team photos, kind of make sure you go through and thoroughly upload photos. This one right here, we've optimized a little bit, but we still have more work to do on this one. But make sure when you upload the photos, don't just upload them all here on the overview part. Come over here to at work, upload a few in the at work section, upload a few in the team section here. And the identity, you want to have your logo in there, the correct size, and you want a cover photo as well that you want to show kind of in search results. But I cannot overstate how important it is to continuously upload photos in your Google business listing. What happens is Google is always looking for the most active Google business listings to show on the maps. So if you're constantly uploading photos, clients and customers are giving you reviews on your Google business listing, and they're uploading photos and attaching them to your Google business listing. That just shows Google you're a legitimate company in the area, doing the right thing. People are, having a good time with your business. They're showing that they appreciate your services and your work, and they're uploading photos and giving you reviews and stuff. That's going to help your Google business listing show up over everybody else's. And I can't overstate the importance of just constantly uploading photos to that Google business listing. The next thing we want to do, because I don't want to get too deep into this, for the sake of time. But number 4 is work on Google reviews every single day. Let me give you a little trick here. Let me show you a little trick. So your Google reviews are typically going to be right here in the review section. So what you want to do is when somebody gives you a review, you want to reply to it. That also shows Google this is an active listing. Thanks so much for the review, Kelly. Appreciate your business. Thank you, Stephanie, exclamation point. Thank you for the 5-star review, Sherry, exclamation point. Just whatever you got to do to reply to each one of these. Next is if you want more of these reviews, then what you can do is when you're on the homepage here, there's a little short link you can create. And you can basically get, there it is right here. So you see this get more reviews. They just added this short link pretty recently. If you want to get more reviews and you don't have some sort of review tool like we provide or somebody else provides, just go ahead and click on this share review form and literally just copy and paste this right here and save it in your phone, right? Better yet, save it in your phone. And after every job, just text it to clients. Hey, would you mind giving us a Google review? It helps us a great deal. Or attach this link on your invoices that go out electronically, or put it on your website. Hey, give us a Google review here. Just if you ask a lot of people to give you reviews, you'll get reviews, right? It's just a numbers game. So this is going to really help you. They've added this little short link recently. So that kind of helps get more reviews. So hopefully you guys can find that. You just on your homepage of your Google business listing, scroll down and you'll see it right there. So that's the next thing I would suggest is getting reviews on there all the time. Next thing is post regularly on here. So Google added a posting feature about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So when you go to posts, you can see you could actually post on here a photo of you guys in action doing some work. And then you can also write an article right below it with, hashtags of like your local tree service keywords, like tree service Folsom, California for this one, tree service Folsom, tree removal Folsom, tree pruning Folsom, things like that. But it's really just an easy 1 or 2 sentence post with a photo and a call to action. Hey, give us a call if you want to quote. And what happens is that shows up in the search results. So check this out. You do a search for that particular business. It shows up right here in the search results. So here's the reviews. Here's that description that we were looking at earlier to make sure you do that part. And then here's where the posts show up. You see how it makes your listing kind of stick out and it shows that you're active on Google. All of these activities, postings, uploading photos, getting regular reviews, responding to the reviews, all of that activity is going to push your listing, with all else being equal, up ahead of your competition. And that's what you want. You want to make sure that it gets up there because having high visibility on the maps is going to increase your lead flow substantially. And that's what you want to do. Number 6, last but not least, is don't sleep on your website, right? So if you have a website, and for example, this website, when you have your website, you want to make sure your on-page SEO is done correctly. And on-page SEO just means like the wording that's on your pages. And they need to also have the keywords that you're trying to target for your local area. So in this particular case, it's tree service Folsom, California. So you can see up here in the top is best tree care services in Folsom, California. You can see right here in the header, best tree care services in Folsom, California. You can see there's more tree services in Folsom, California, right? You just want to keep making sure that those things are evident and very, very clear to Google that that's what you're trying to rank for. And what they do is they crawl and scan your website that's plugged in to that Google business listing as well. So your URL for your website is plugged in here, right? And so they scan the website and they know what that website content is about. And so then they know, okay, maybe we should rank their website and the Google map for more of these tree service Folsom searches, tree removal Folsom, things like that. So just wanted to show you the importance of that. So don't overthink this, but let's go ahead and just recap what you need to do to get on the Google Maps and make sure you get the best results. First and foremost, let's just set up the Google business listing if you don't have one yet. If you've been around for a while, you probably have this set up. I won't assume anything though. That's why I went through the beginning of this video, how to set it up. So if you haven't set it up, rewind it or go back to the beginning and learn how to set up your Google business listing, because first and foremost, it's got to get set up and verified. Once you're verified, fill everything out thoroughly, especially the description and the services part. And then make sure your categories are correct inside your Google business listing. You don't want to pick landscaper or contractor or concrete or anything like that. You want to pick tree service, right? You're a tree service business. And we see this often enough to make sure I make a point about that. Number 3, upload tons of photos into the photo area for your Google business listing, and ask clients when you're on site, if they're taking pictures of your work, say, oh, would you mind uploading that to my Google business listing? And they'll say, how do you do that? You say, well, just go ahead and search my business name real quick, XYZ Tree Service, and you'll see right there my Google business listing on the maps. Just click on it and upload a photo. That would be really helpful. When other people are uploading photos to your Google map listing, that has a huge impact on your local SEO and showing that map in more searches locally. So everybody wants to be right here. Let me show you. So when people do searches locally in your area, tree service near me, tree service your city, etc., you see the first is going to be these Google local service ads, Google guaranteed, which we can help you get on there as well. That's pay-per-click marketing, but a whole nother video, whole nother webinar. These are your traditional Google ads, clickable pay-per-click ads right here as well. But you see these maps right here? That's where people feel like are the most local results on the internet. So a lot of people prefer to click local companies, quote unquote, because it looks like they're local based on the maps that they're looking at on Google. So this is where you want to be. And you can see a pretty consistent factor. This company has 126 5-star reviews. That's incredible. And that gives them a 5-star rating. This company's got a 4.9-star rating, incredible, 63 reviews. That's awesome. So the more reviews you have, the more higher rating you have, the longer you've been in business. Because keep in mind, guys, Google is trying to feed their customer, which is people searching on Google, their search platform, the best, most relevant results. So if your Google listing looks the best, has got the best reviews, you're the one that they're going to be showing most often. And guess what that means? You're the one going to be getting those calls to come out and give an estimate for the tree service work. So I can't stress this enough. I can't overstate the importance of getting on the Google Maps for your local search engine optimization, your local SEO. Because if you're here and then your website's right below that here, and if you want to do Google ads, you get verified in Google local services. I mean, you dominate your local market online. People can't help but find you, or people that have never worked with you before that search for tree service near me because they don't have a preferred tree service company, they will find you and they will give you a call. So this is critical. And depending on your population in your local area, that's going to kind of determine how many calls you may get or how many leads you may get from the maps, but this is just critical. So getting reviews, uploading photos, posting on there regularly, just getting verified in the first place is going to go a long way in helping you guys grow your tree service business. So I want to let you know and invite you next Friday, June 17th at 2 p.m. Eastern time. I'm doing a full-blown webinar on Google Maps. How to get the most from your Google Maps listing, how to optimize it thoroughly. We went through kind of the high level stuff today, but we're going to get into the details and the nitty gritty on exactly how to get better results on your Google Map next Friday. So I'll post here in the Facebook group, and there'll be a registration page to do that webinar next Friday, June 17th at 2 p.m. We're going to take a deep dive into it. I'm going to go through some more things that we didn't get a chance to go through today because this video was restrained on time, about 15 or 20 minutes. Each week in the Facebook group video. So I just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of that. I'll post it in the group, a new event for next week, Friday, June 17th at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We'll go through a deep dive on that. If you guys have any questions at all, you can go to treeservicedigital.com/program and check out our program there. If you want to talk about it, you can just schedule a strategy session, lead flow acceleration session with me. And we'll go through your market, your company, where you're at, where you want to go type thing. You just go to treeservicedigital.com and we got information there. Again, thanks so much for joining us today. If you're on YouTube channel, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps our channel. And then if you're on the podcast listening to this episode, just like your favorite podcast player. We'd really appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you then. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.